What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So before I get into this video, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to a couple of subscribers for showing love to the channel. Much respect to the brother Irving for the $10 donation via the PayPal. Big time fan of the NBA from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. The golden era of the NBA, which we finally look back on with pride, unlike this pussified multiverse apparently we're living in, where, just the slightest twinges of hurts of feelings is a global criminal threat of the highest order. But yet Alec Baldwin can shoot someone dead and then play victim, but those on the left make excuses for him. It's funny. Well, Alec Baldwin, even though he actually pulled the trigger, his supporters will tell you, well, it was the people who manufactured the gun. It was the people who handled the gun. On the crew. It's their fault, not him. Even though he pulled the trigger, or maybe he did, but it's still their fault. But you don't have that same logic for Kyrie Irving. It's not the people who actually made the film, or the people who are distributing the film, or the people who are profiting off the film that's partnered with the NBA. It's Kyrie Irving, because he should have did his research. But yet, you didn't say that Alec Baldwin should have did further research to make sure the gun was safe. And also, I want to give a big shout out to Stacey Armstrong, for the $25 donation via the PayPal. It says, quote, "Too Raw, stay on their helmets, continue calling out the buffoonery and hypocrisy." Yeah, it's very hypocritical. And, you also have to look at the people on television and see how they are not speaking from a place of journalistic integrity, but from a personal standpoint. This is personal. A lot of them have ties to the issue at hand, if you catch my drift. So it's personal with them. And also, a lot of these people don't like them going all the way back to the Elixir controversy. So this is personal, And one thing a lot of people in this country don't like is a smiling, smart alecky, in their eyes, uppity nigger. They will do everything they can to try to bring that nigger down to size. So let me get to the video, because I've been talking long enough. So yesterday, I think it was, the Brooklyn Nets came out with this ridiculous list. I mean, this Grand Theft Auto mission-like list, where if he doesn't do these things, he's out of the NBA forever. He must apologize. And I don't mean a statement. From what I could tell, they want this dude on television to give a verbal and sincere political-like apology for sharing that link. And if you can just train yourself to cry like Jimmy Swaggart, please do so, because your tears will make them smile and say, "We broke that nigga." Then he must condemn the movie, but not just condemn it on the surface. I mean, preacher like preacher like movements. I don't know why I couldn't say gesticulations just then. But anyway, he has to go through the motions of, this movie is a disgrace, and it should never be tolerated or watched anywhere. I made a mistake, and I beg of you all, I've learned my lesson. This movie should not be watched by anybody unless you purchase it on Amazon, partner with NBA for $20 a pop, probably $25 a pop now. But other than that, don't watch it anywhere. Then he must pay another $500,000 to some anti-hate group. Probably a group that's for every type of anti-hate except anti-black. Anti-alphabet, anti-Jewish, anti-Asian, anti-Latino, anti-white, anti-Greek, anti-dog, anti-cat, anti-black. No, no. And after he does that, because they canceled the check on the other one, I think. Or did they? But anyway, after that, he has to attend sensitivity training. Sensitivity training. I guess to be more in touch with other people's feelings and perspectives vis-a-vis the liberal indoctrination tactics. You have to feel people's pain and be aware of other people, because as black people, we're human pinatas. Fuck how we feel. People can beat the shit out of us until the stuffing comes out. We're human punching bags for George Foreman to annihilate. We're ornaments for other people to enjoy and look at and touch and fondle like when we were slaves, But we have to be there for other people. Fuck our own feelings. Then he has to attend anti-Semitic training. Whatever the fuck that means. I don't know. You guess what that means. And then he has to meet with the leaders. And I mean the leaders of the Jewish faith. That could be people like, I don't know, Rabbi Schneerson. It is my honor to meet with you, Kyrie. Now, I shall put you on my knee and teach you about the Jewish faith. We are the original people. And Kyrie, you must learn how to stay in your nigger place. Okay? We are the original people, and unless you give a sincere apology, Adam Silver, who I raised as a little schnitzka, will not allow you back into the league. Okay? And then after they meet with them, then he has to meet with the hypocritical and tyrannical Brooklyn Nets owner, Joe Tsai, who is committing all types of Muslim atrocities vis-a-vis his Amazon equivalency in China. But hey, nobody talks about that. But anyway, he has to meet with him. Then, and only then, if he shows the correct amount of buck brokenness, that back has to be broken in half. Bowing down like Josiah's Alibaba himself. And then and only then will Kyrie Irving be allowed to help them win games. Help them win games. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but at this point, Kyrie Irving, I agree with the brother Ticket. Shout out to my brother right there. Kyrie, bro, I can't tell you what to do. None of us can tell you what to do. We're not in your situation. It's a lot of money to give up. But, bro, Look, we saw you last year. If you do this, we can't judge you, but people are not gonna look at you the same. They're not. Every time we try to defend you, people are gonna say, "Look what he did. Look what he did. They broke that nigga. They broke his ass." This is ridiculous. This is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Man, and when it comes to lawyers, that's a good option, but I mean, you got to look at who make up a lot of those, I mean, I'm just saying. Are you really going to get impartiality there? This is a very sensitive subject. So, yeah, he should consider you're in the prime of your career. Kyrie, you're the one. Remember you said years ago, the players could create their own league. Hell, maybe you should team up with Ice Cube. You already got his thing. Get some other investors. Create an alternative. A black-owned alternative. Or majority black-owned at least. This is why we need our own shit right here. Because they're just making a mockery of this guy now. They're making a mockery of him. Myers Leonard, now he is out the NBA. Make no mistake about it. But they didn't go through this amount of vitriol at all. And he actually said the worst thing you could call someone of the God's children faith, right? He said the worst thing you can say. But my theory is, what the whole Myers Leonard thing is, I think most people hearing that name, Myers Leonard of the Miami Heat, they thought he was black. And then when they saw that he wasn't, they backed off. What? What did that nigga say? Oh, we're gonna bury that nigga. Let me see his black face. Oh, wait a minute here. Oy, boy. We got to clean this up a little bit. Let's just say he's ignorant. He didn't know what he was saying. Vada ving. There's a learning experience. Boy, that's how we'll do it. Not going to be too harsh on him. Still going to blackball this fucking ass, though. We're going to blackball that Gentile right out of the fucking NBA. That's how we're going to do that one, though. I thought he was one of those oil skins. But, I'm trying to be a little bit humorous, but at the end of the day, man, yeah, if I'm Kyrie Irving, man, fuck them, man. Fuck them. I ain't doing none of that shit, man. It's enough. For sharing a link. Come on, man. Sharing a link. And it'll be one thing. People keep saying promoting. Okay. What about when Doc Rivers? Well, you know what? I'm not even going to go there because they claimed that it was malfunctioning or whatever. It was hacked or whatever. I don't buy none of that shit. So you had coaches and people sharing porn there, goddamn where, and nobody cares. Man, this shit's crazy, man. This is crazy. It's not like the movie says, fuck. Okay? It doesn't say that. I guess you could argue, yes, buried in that movie is offensive shit. But how many times have we seen movies that when you look down the surface of, you actually watched it, it's some offensive shit in it? Like Gone with the Wind, the highest grossing movie of all time. As a black man watching Gone with the Wind, there's some very offensive shit in there. Some very offensive stereotypes. Do anybody give a fuck? No, because we're not in a position of power to hurt anybody, financially or elsewise. Birth of a Nation is the most racially offensive movie ever made. And before Gone with the Wind, it was the highest grossing movie. Ain't that funny how all the highest grossing movies before 1950 was some racist shit? But anyway, Woodrow Wilson, it was the first movie ever screened in the White House. Woodrow Wilson called it a masterpiece. They portrayed black men as beasts who were evil in intent. We were evil in intent, criminal minded, and we were savage and obsessed with fucking white women and raping white women. That's how the movie portrayed us. As savages. And the KKK were knights in shining white armor with hoods on to save white supremacy. Oh, but that's not offensive, though. That's not offensive. Fuck this country.